Chapter 1: The Wedding Dress. They told me to keep my heart cold. Think of it like a role. You're not Elliot Hart. You're Eli Varelli. Soft. Submissive. Play the part. Survive it. The commander said. But no amount of training prepares you for stepping into a custom-made wedding dress, stitched with blood money and expectation. The mirror doesn't lie. I look like someone else, someone delicate. Slender wrists, painted mouth, hollowed eyes. The corset tightens when I breathe. Lace gloves hide the calluses from years of fieldwork. I look like a bride, but I feel like a loaded gun disguised as a flower vase. There's a knock on the door. 10 minutes. A voice calls. Probably one of Dante Varelli's foot soldiers. The respectful kind. Not the ones who torture for fun. I turn away from the mirror and breathe through the panic. I've done worse than marry a psychopath. Haven't I? The ceremony is quiet, intimate, like a funeral dressed in silk. Dante stands across from me in a sharp black suit, hair slicked back, expression unreadable. His eyes, dark, predatory, drag over me like a knife pressed just shy of the skin. You look like a gift I don't deserve, he murmurs, low enough that only I hear it. I force a smile. Good thing you get to keep it anyway. His lips curl. Not quite a smile. More like the moment before a lion pounces. The vows are a joke. A priest says words no one means. To honor and cherish. In the audience. Weapons dealers, assassins, smugglers in $1,000 tuxedos. Applause follows the kiss. Not even a real one. Just a brush of lips to keep the farce believable. I taste gunpowder on his mouth. The reception is decadent and dangerous. Caviar and champagne. Laughter and hidden weapons. I don't drink. I don't eat. I just sit at the head table beside my new husband, playing docile. Dante makes a show of resting his hand on my thigh under the tablecloth. He's not being gentle. His grip reminds me I'm property now. Why so tense, Eli? Not having fun at your own wedding? He asks, his voice smooth, but his thumb is pressing too hard against bone. I'm just not used to crowds, I say. He leans closer. His breath ghosts over my ear. You better get used to being watched. Everyone in this room wants to know how fuckable my little prize is. I'm the only one who gets to find out. I flinch. Just barely. But he feels it. That night, I sit on the edge of the bed in our shared suite, still in the goddamn dress. The bedroom is enormous. Floor-to-ceiling windows, velvet curtains, low light that makes everything feel like a dream on the verge of turning nightmare. Dante walks out of the bathroom shirtless, a towel around his waist. His chest is scarred. Knife wounds, bullet grazes, a story in every line. He tosses the towel aside like we're already something to each other. He moves with the confidence of a man who's never heard no spoken with teeth. I'll give you a choice. You want the dress off, or do I rip it off? He says, voice softer now. I stand. Slowly. My fingers go to the zipper on my back. My hands don't shake. Not yet. You always like your lovers like this? I ask, matching his tone. He watches me. There's a flicker of something in his eyes. Interest. Amusement. Maybe a crack of restraint. I don't like liars, and you're hiding something, he says, stepping close. I laugh too soft. Everyone here is hiding something. He brushes a hand along my jaw. Not tender, not cruel, just claiming. You're prettier than I expected, but I don't trust pretty things, he says. So don't fall in love, I say. His mouth touches mine, brief, dry, dangerous. Then he pulls away and walks toward the bed. Sleep on the left, I shoot anything that moves on my right. He mutters. Noted. I slip out of the dress when his back is turned. Pull on the black silk sleepwear left for me. It clings. I lie down without a word, careful not to breathe too loud. My heart pounds, but I keep my spine straight and my hands still. Dante lies beside me, not touching. Not yet. The silence stretches. I think about the wire sewn into the hem of my robe, the button I can press if things go wrong. I think about the mission, the names on the kill list, the lives I'm supposed to save. Then Dante says, half asleep, if you ever betray me, I won't kill you. I'll kill everyone you love first. My breath catches, and I realize he already knows I have something to hide. He's just waiting for me to give him a reason. Chapter 2, First Blood. In the morning, Dante's gone. The spot beside me is still warm, like his body just vanished into smoke. I lie there for a moment, eyes on the ceiling, thinking about the way he said, "If you ever betray me," like it was a bedtime story. I get up, slip on a robe, and start counting cameras. 4 in the bedroom, 1 pointed at the door, 1 subtle, hidden in the light fixture, 1 above the bed. Of course, no place is private in a house like this. You're always being watched, judged. My job is to play the perfect toy while bleeding intel from the inside. No pressure. I find Dante in the basement that afternoon. I wasn't supposed to be there. One of his men, Vin, I think, tall with a broken nose, told me to stay upstairs. But curiosity kills more than cats in this family, so I lied. Said Dante sent for me. I even smiled when I said it. The door was unlocked. I slipped in. I didn't expect screaming. It's a concrete room with metal chairs and a drain in the floor. Everything's clean, sterile, like someone planned for it to get messy. And there he is, Dante, standing over a man duct taped to a chair, shirtless, blood dripping from his nose. Dante holds a knife like it belongs in his hand. "You came, I was wondering when you'd get curious," he says, not looking at me. I freeze. "You left the door open." He shrugs. "Doors only stop people who aren't dangerous." The man in the chair whimpers. I don't ask who he is. I don't want to know. I already know. A mole. A traitor. A reminder. Dante turns to me, eyes gleaming. "Stay, watch," he says. It's not a request. I stand in the corner while Dante interrogates him. Methodical. Calm. Each question comes between strikes, nothing wild, just controlled pain. Enough to keep the man conscious, compliant. He's done this before. I should look away. But I don't. I study Dante like I'm profiling him for a report. Calm heart rate. No pleasure in his eyes. Just precision. He's not a sadist. He's something worse. He believes in what he's doing. The man confesses halfway through, some deal with the Kuznetsov family. Money. Loyalty. All the usual sins. When Dante steps back, his shirt is soaked in red down the sleeves. He looks over at me like we're sharing a moment. Like this is our honeymoon. "You ever wonder what love is, Eli?" His voice is quiet, soft. I say nothing. Dante wipes the blade on the man's shirt and walks to me slowly. The blood on his hands is drying into brown crust. When he touches my face, I flinch. Love is knowing someone can betray you and still not wanting to let them go. I meet his eyes. That's not love. That's obsession. Semantics. He smiles, brushing a blood-slick finger along my cheekbone. "But you said betray so easily. Do you think about it often?" That moment. God. That moment. I don't breathe. I just hold his gaze and let the danger pass over me like a wave. Testing me. "No, do you?" I say. Dante lets out a short laugh. "Only every time someone looks at me too long." He steps away. The man in the chair is unconscious now. Or dead. I'm not sure. Dante tosses me the bloodied knife. "Keep it, you'll need it," he says. That night, I scrub my hands raw even though I never touched anything. I open the small box in my nightstand where I keep the micro-recorder. I whisper into it like a confession. Subject Dante Varelli. Displays high-functioning psychopathy, emotional detachment, surgical violence. Also, a capacity for focus, control, possible code. I pause. Then I whisper. And he knew I was lying. Hours later, I wake up to Dante climbing into bed. He doesn't speak, doesn't touch me. He just breathes beside me, steady and slow, like none of it happened. But I lie there, knife under my pillow, thinking, I don't know if I'm the hunter anymore, or the bait. Chapter 3, House of Mirrors. I've been trained to lie so well I almost forget who I am when I'm undercover. But this house makes it harder. It's built like a stage and a trap. Polished floors that never show dust. Ornate mirrors in every hallway. like I'm being watched by versions of myself I don't recognize. In one of them, I catch a glimpse of my reflection. Black silk robe, damp hair, bruises on my collarbone I don't remember getting. My eyes look like someone else's. I can't tell if that's a win or the beginning of the end. Dante doesn't act like a new husband. He acts like I've been his for years, like my presence beside him is assumed, not earned. At breakfast, he reads the paper while I eat toast I don't taste. Occasionally, he comments on a story, something about weapons shipments or territory disputes. You'll learn how to keep your face still even when you hear things that should shake you, he says suddenly, eyes flicking up to meet mine. You think I look shaken? Ask. He smirks. You blink too much when you lie. I chew slowly, swallow. And you stare too long when you're testing someone. He laughs. Just once. Then sips his espresso, pleased. It's a game. Every day. A series of bluffs and counter-bluffs. Except one of us has real bullets, and the other is bleeding trust he can't afford to lose. Later, I find the room by accident. It's Dantes Study. A dark, wood-paneled place lined with shelves of books. I don't think he reads and photographs. He definitely doesn't want anyone touching. One of them stops me. It's small, framed in brass. Two boys, arms slung over each other's shoulders. Dante is one of them, years younger, Messier, with a smile so wide it's almost obscene. The other boy is gone now. I know that without asking. I know that in the way the frame is dusted, but the smile has been erased from Dante's face forever. Don't touch that. I turn. Dante's at the door, silent as a shadow. I wasn't going to, I say. He walks in slow. Not angry, just careful, like he's stepping around something invisible. That's my brother Luca, he says, voice flat. What happened to him? Dante tilts his head. He believed the wrong people. I don't ask more. I already know from the files. Luca Varelli, dead at 21. Shot twice in the chest by a man he trusted. Dante was there. Held him. Bled with him. The story changed him. Broke him open. I don't say any of that. But he's watching me like he knows what I'm thinking. Do you ever trust anyone, Dante? Ask. He walks right up to me. Close. Too close. I'm trusting you right now. He lifts a hand. Tucks a stray strand of hair behind my ear. His fingers graze my cheek. And I freeze, not because I'm afraid, but because part of me doesn't want to move. I don't need you to love me, but I need you to belong to me, he murmurs. I step back before I can fall into that gravity again. Too bad I don't do belonging, I say. Dante smiles like that's exactly the answer he expected. That night, it's raining. The kind of storm that turns the windows into mirrors and makes the whole house sound like it's whispering. I'm in bed first. I pretend to sleep when Dante walks in. He doesn't believe it for a second. He sits on the edge of the bed, watching me. I feel the heat of his gaze on my back. Then I feel the shift of the mattress. He lies down behind me, not touching, but close. So close. I dreamt you were running. I was chasing you through a hallway of mirrors. You kept vanishing around corners. Every time I thought I had you, I caught my own reflection instead. He says quietly, keep my eyes closed. Say nothing. His voice is almost tender, almost human. You can run, Eli, but I'll always find you. He doesn't touch me. Not yet. But the promise is there in the space between us. Chapter 4. Soft hands, cold eyes. I thought I could handle being watched. But there's a difference between surveillance and scrutiny, between the eyes in the ceiling and the man watching you like he's dissecting you from the inside out. Dante's been quiet for 3 days. No games. No questions. No threats. Which makes it worse. Because silence means thinking. And Dante Varelli thinking is more dangerous than anyone else speaking. I'm in the library. Alone. Or so I thought. There's a secret compartment in the back of the bookshelf. I found it yesterday. Hidden behind Wuthering Heights of all things. Ironic. Inside, a briefcase of ledgers. Transactions. Codes I don't yet understand. But I photographed them anyway. Today I'm just looking at the wall. Trying to be still. Trying to breathe. And then he speaks. You're not very good at pretending you belong here. I spin. Dante's there, leaning against the doorframe like he's been standing there for years. How long were you watching me? I ask, voice calm even though my pulse isn't. Long enough to see you lie to the walls. And to yourself. He steps closer. I force a small, cool smile. Paranoia isn't sexy, Dante. I'm not paranoid. I'm observant. He closes the distance, slow and fluid. He grabs my wrist before I can move, hard but not hurting. Yet, his grip is surgical, precise, like everything he does. Where were you just now? He asks. I was reading. There's no book in your hand. He lets go suddenly, like touching me disgusts him. Or maybe like he wants to touch me too much and hates himself for it. He tells the guards to leave, locks the door behind them. We're alone in the library now, and I know something's coming. Take off your shirt, he says. I blink. What? You're hiding something. On you, or in you, and I'm going to find out what it is. I could say no, but the way he's standing says there's only one way this ends if I resist. I pull my shirt off. Slowly. His eyes scan me like a blueprint. His fingers brush over my ribs, my spine. He stops when he finds the wire, taped just beneath the waistband of my pants. He rips it off in one motion. Police grade. You've been recording me? His voice is ice. No, I lie. It's automatic. His hand grabs my jaw. Tight. Not enough to bruise, but close. You stupid, suicidal little liar. You think I won't kill you for this? He hisses. I should be afraid. And I am. But there's something else too. The heat in his breath. The shaking in his fingers. The way his pupils dilate when I don't look away. You won't kill me, you're too curious. I say quietly. His jaw tenses. Curiosity fades. Betrayal doesn't. Then something shifts. He lets go. Walks away. Picks up a length of dark silk rope from the desk drawer. I hadn't seen it before. Maybe it was already there. Maybe it was waiting. Sit down, he says, pointing to the chair. I don't move. He raises an eyebrow. You want to walk out of this room without bleeding? I sit. He binds my wrists. Not hard. Not cruel. Just tightly. Like he knows exactly how much give I need. I'm not going to torture you, that would be easy, he says, knotting the rope. He walks behind me, resting a hand lightly on my throat. I'm going to keep you until I figure out what parts of you are real, he whispers. I hate the shiver that runs through me. I hate that he feels it. Minutes pass in silence. Finally, he walks around to face me. You're going to stay in this house, you're not going to run. You're not going to lie. And you're not going to die yet, he says. He cups my face. There's blood on his knuckles. I don't know if it's mine. Because the truth is, Eli, I don't know if I want to punish you or protect you. He says softer now. He leans in and kisses me. It's not gentle. It's not romantic. It's a war declaration written in heat and hate and hunger. My lips part out of shock, and his tongue finds mine like we've done this before in another life. One where we didn't have to lie. When he pulls away, I'm breathless and furious and terrified of how much I wanted it. You're sick, I whisper. He smiles. So are you. Later, he unties me, leaves without another word. I sit there long after he's gone, and I whisper, for no one but myself. I'm losing this game. Chapter 5, Blood Roses. I've worn disguises before, uniforms, fake IDs, languages I barely speak. But nothing feels more unreal than this red silk suit Dante had tailored for me. Tight at the waist, open at the collar, expensive enough to buy someone's life and loose enough to offer mine. He wanted red, like blood, so they remember who you belong to, he said. The gala is held in one of the old Varelli estates. Gold chandeliers, black marble floors, a courtyard full of roses so red they look painted in murder. The room stinks of money and power, of violence dressed up in elegance. Dante walks in with me on his arm, hand resting low on my back. Every step we take is a show. Every glance from the crowd is a loaded gun. He leans in, whispering just above my skin, "Smile." I do, but my jaw is tight and my spine is burning. We're greeted by people with 2 white teeth and shark eyes. Dante knows every name, every sin. I play the role, the devoted spouse. I touch his arm like I crave it. I drink from the glass he hands me even though it tastes like control. Across the room, a woman stares at me too long. Who's that? I murmur. Dante follows my gaze. His tone is coated in acid. Marinella Romano. She wanted to be in your place. She still could be. Give her a week. His grip on my waist tightens. Cute, but don't test me in public, he says. Hours pass. Dante disappears into back rooms with lieutenants. Keep my head down, ears open. Names, deals, codes. Everything they think the pretty boy isn't smart enough to remember. Until someone corners me by the fountain in the courtyard. He's young, maybe 22. Smells like vodka and ego. You're the cop, right? My blood freezes. I say nothing. Just tilt my head, feigning confusion. He grins. Relax. I'm kidding. But his eyes linger on my chest. Then my lips. What does it feel like, being owned by a man like him? He grabs my arm. Too hard. Come on. You're not really loyal. No one plays the bride without cracking. The laugh I let out is sharp. I want to hurt him, but I can't blow my cover here, not like this. Then suddenly he's gone. Ripped backward by Dante, who appears like smoke and storms. Dante shoves the guy against the fountain. Calm. Brutal. If you ever touch him again, I'll cut your fingers off and feed them to your dog. Slowly. He says. The kid stammers. Apologizes. Disappears. I don't say thank you. I don't say anything. Because Dante turns to me like I'm the one who misbehaved. Why didn't you stop him? He hisses. I was about to. You shouldn't have to. You're mine. That means people are supposed to fear touching you. I stare him down. Then maybe you should stop parading me like I'm for sale. He steps into my space, breath hot with fury and something darker. They need to see what I have. And you need to remember who gave you this life. I push him. Not hard, but enough. His eyes flash. And then, just like that, he grabs me by the collar and kisses me. Right there. In front of everyone. It's not soft. It's not sweet. It's heat and violence and possession sealed with tongue and teeth. I hate how much I feel it. How much I need it. He pulls back and smirks. Now they know. Later, back in the car, the silence crackles. I break it. You like putting on a show. He shrugs. You're prettier when you're angry. I turn my head to the window. Try not to let him see that my hands are shaking. He doesn't touch me again. But his voice slides over the leather seat like a promise. Next time someone touches you, Eli, I won't stop at threats. That night, I dream of the roses in the courtyard. They drip red. And I can't tell if it's rain or blood. Chapter 6. Needle and thread. Pain's nothing new. You get used to it after years in the field. But there's something humiliating about bleeding in front of the man you're supposed to be manipulating. Especially when he's the one holding the needle. It was supposed to be a quick errand. One of Dante's lieutenants needed a pickup handled in the docks. I volunteered. Fewer eyes. More freedom. He let me go. It was a setup. The package was real. The ambush was too. One of the Romano family's dogs recognized me from an old file. I didn't have time to cover my face. He had a blade. I had a gun. By the time it was over, he was dead. And I was slumped against a shipping crate, blood soaking through my side, my fingers pressing uselessly against the wound. Not deep enough to kill, just deep enough to remind me I'm still made of flesh. Dante doesn't say anything when I stumble through the front door, just catches me before I collapse and guides me to the bathroom. He doesn't shout, doesn't accuse. He just peels off my shirt like it's fragile and not soaked with red. Sit, he says. I sit. The mirror shows both of us. Me pale, half-naked, bleeding. Him. Clean, composed, jaw tight like he's holding back 1,000 things he can't say. He pulls out a first aid kit. Not the kind you get at a pharmacy. Military grade. Of course. I can do it myself, I say. No, you'll fuck it up, he says, kneeling in front of me. He cleans the cut in silence. The alcohol burns like hell, but I don't make a sound. Who was it? He asks. Romano Muscle. Recognize you? Maybe. He doesn't push it. Just nods, threads the needle. And then he starts stitching. There's something obscene about the way he does it. Gentle, careful, like this is holy work. He leans in close, his fingers steady, his mouth inches from my skin. You should have told me before you left, he murmurs. You'd have said no. You're not bulletproof, Eli. You think I don't know that? He finishes the last stitch, ties it off, presses gauze against it. Then he stays there, crouched, his hands on my waist, his eyes locked on mine, and says the thing I wasn't ready to hear. I don't want you dead. It's not dramatic. It's not loud. It's quiet, final, real. I try to laugh it off. You're too invested in your property, huh? His grip tightens. I'm not joking. That's the problem, you never are. I say. He exhales sharply. Not a sigh. Not anger. Something between grief and restraint. Then he stands and helps me to my feet. Holds me steady when I nearly fall. Come on, you're sleeping in my bed tonight. He says. I've been sleeping there for weeks. No, you've been lying there. He says, looking at me like he's seeing something new. The bedroom is dark, soft, too warm. I expect him to leave. He doesn't. He helps me into clean clothes, pulls the blanket over me, turns off the lights, then slips into bed behind me, his arm curling around my waist like it belongs there. I'm too tired to fight, too sore to pretend I don't feel his breath on my neck. So I whisper, you stitched me up. What now? Now I keep you in one piece. I don't sleep, not really, but for the first time in weeks, I stop thinking about the wire under the floorboards, or the gun in the drawer, or the mission that's spiraling into something I can't define. I just lie there, bleeding next to the man who should want me dead, and wonder what it means when someone dangerous holds you like you're something fragile. Chapter 7, Wiretap Heart. I should have pulled the wire out of the closet floor 2 nights ago, but I didn't, and now every time I step into that room, I feel like I'm walking into confession. The recorder's still working, tucked under the fake baseboard, powered by a micro battery pack. I check it while Dante's out meeting with the council. Stupid. Risky. I know that, but I still do it. I play back the last entry. My voice, cracked and quiet. Subject appears to be exhibiting attachment behavior. He stitched me up last night, held me afterward. I should have felt disgust. I didn't. That's a problem. Mission is compromised. I stop the tape, delete it, and sit there, staring at my hands like they belong to someone else. Later, I walk past Dante's office. He's inside, on the phone. Catch only fragments. No, the package moved early. I don't care what Romano thinks. If he makes another move, I'll bury his family twice. He sees me through the glass, waves me in mid-sentence. I step inside like it doesn't scare me. His voice drops as he finishes the call. Yeah, handle it. Burn everything. And tell Marcello if he sends another rat into my house, I'll send his daughter back with her tongue in a box. He turns to me. You look like you haven't slept. Thanks, you really know how to flatter a guy. I mutter. He grins. Stands. Crosses the room. You been snooping again, Eli? I meet his gaze evenly. Would it matter if I said yes? His smile fades. Yes, but I'd let you live. Probably. He steps closer. Presses a hand against the wall beside my head. Not touching me. Just closing the space. You're twitchy, like a rabbit in a snare. He says. I'm tired. No. You're guilty. He taps my chest. That gets under my skin. Of what? You tell me. I shove him back before I can stop myself. Just one palm against his chest. He doesn't move, but something changes in his face. He reaches out. Not fast. Not cruel. Just deliberate. Fingers slip under my chin. Why are you still here? He asks. The question punches the air out of me. I don't have an answer I can say out loud. I lie instead. Because I haven't found what I came for. Wrong move. He leans in, lips grazing my ear. You think I don't know why you stay? His breath is heat and poison. It's not the mission anymore, you just don't know how to leave me. He whispers. That night, I sit in bed and stare at the ceiling. He doesn't come in until late. When he does, he doesn't speak. He just crawls into bed and turns off the lamp. I feel him reach, hesitate, and then wrap an arm around me like a question he's scared to ask out loud. I let him pull me close, and I hate myself for how natural it feels. Chapter 8, Hunger. I stopped pretending I wasn't waiting for this. Not the kiss, not the touch. The moment, the second the room got too quiet, the air too thick, the hunger too loud to ignore. Tonight, it happens in the dark. No reason, no pretext, just Dante. Standing in the doorway of our bedroom, jaw tight, eyes shadowed with something feral. You're awake, he says. I don't sleep much. He walks in, closes the door behind him, doesn't speak. I sit up slowly. Something wrong. You tell me. I don't answer, because I already know. It's been building for weeks. Every stolen look, every breath we shared in silence, every time I let him touch me and didn't pull away fast enough. This isn't about strategy anymore. It's about need. He stops at the edge of the bed. I don't move. His voice is low, strained. Say no now if you're going to say it at all. I want to. I should. But I don't. Instead, I say, do it. He's on me in a second. No softness. No hesitation. His mouth crashes into mine. Hungry, brutal, desperate. It tastes like fire and fury and everything I've been denying since the day we met. I respond before I can stop myself. Fisting his shirt, pulling him down, opening my mouth to him like I've done it before in dreams I hate myself for having. His hands are everywhere. Rough, claiming, but not cruel. Never quite cruel. He rips off my shirt, fingers skimming over bruises and scars. His teeth scrape down my throat and I arch into it like it hurts good. You don't get to lie anymore. Not with your mouth. Not with your body. He growls against my skin. I'm not. I whisper. And I'm not. Not now. He presses me down into the mattress, eyes locked on mine. You hate me, he says. Sometimes. But you want me. Always. I breathe. And it's the truth. God help me, it's the truth. What follows isn't pretty. It's fast. Messy. Clothes shoved aside. Fingers digging in. Sweat and breath and the sound of two people trying to destroy each other with every thrust. Every gasp. Every kiss that's more bite than love. I claw at his back. He bites my shoulder. We don't speak. There's nothing left to say. After I lie there, sweating, gasping, wrecked, he doesn't move. He's still inside me, forehead pressed to my collarbone, body trembling in a way that terrifies me more than anything else. Because he's not just spent. He's shaken, like I broke him. Minutes pass. Neither of us speaks. Then finally, his voice breaks the silence. You'll ruin me. I turn my head, barely able to look at him. You ruined yourself long before I got here. He nods. And then, goddammit, he kisses me again. This time it's slow, gentle, like an apology he doesn't know how to say out loud. And worse? Kiss him back. Later, I shower alone. I watch the water run red from the bite marks and bruises. And I cry. Not loud. Not long. Just enough to know something in me has cracked wide open. And I don't know if I'll ever close it again. Chapter 9, The Break. The moment it happens, I know it's over. No warning. No build-up. Just the click of a gun behind my head. And the sound of Dante's voice, cold, quiet, wrong. Don't move. I freeze. The air in the room goes still. Not tense. Dead. Like something sacred just got put in a body bag. I'd gotten careless. I thought I had time. I thought I could manage the wire, the files, the lies and the longing and the chaos in my chest. But somewhere along the line I lost control. And he found the recorder. Of course he did. You want to explain why this thing has weeks of recordings about my operations? He says, stepping into view, holding the device in his hand like it's poison. I open my mouth. Nothing comes out. He doesn't shout. That's what makes it worse. He just looks at me, like I'm not a person anymore, just a betrayal wearing skin. Tell me it's not true you lied to me once. Hide out that you are a little pretty cop. But I gave you a chance. Lie to me again. Give me something to believe in, Eli. He says, quiet, almost pleading. I can't. And that's how he knows. 2 of his men drag me down into the basement. The same one I watched him torture people in. They don't hit me. Not yet. They just chain me to the chair, leave me alone with him, and shut the door. Dante paces. Doesn't look at me. Not right away. I taste copper in my mouth and realize I'm biting the inside of my cheek to stay calm. You used me from the beginning. He says, I had a job, you knew that. Deep down, you always knew. I say. He laughs. A sharp, broken sound. I thought you were a runaway, that you wanted to escape your cop life. A broken thing trying to survive. I thought I could keep you, protect you, take you to my side. He says. He looks at me now, and it's the first time I've ever seen him look empty. I was right about the broken part. He comes closer. 1 step. Another. I flinch. I hate that I do. He kneels in front of me. Did you ever feel anything for me? Yes, I say. It's not enough. He slaps me. Not hard. Not like punishment. More like he's trying to wake himself up. Everything we did. Every second. You were collecting intel? I don't answer. He laughs again. Bitter. You recorded us? No, not that. I say. His voice drops. But you would have. I close my eyes. I didn't know how to stop. I whisper. Silence. Then, neither did I. He stands. Runs a hand through his hair like he wants to rip it out. You were the only thing I didn't control in this house. The only thing I didn't own. And I liked it. His voice cracks. And you used that. I never wanted to hurt you. I say. You did. He leaves. Slams the door. I'm alone. The pain doesn't come from the chains. Comes from the echo of that voice in the dark. The way he said my name like it used to mean something. Like I used to mean something. Hours pass. Maybe a day. No food. No water. Just the sound of my heartbeat getting louder. I think about the night he kissed me for the first time. The way he stitched me up. The way I let him crawl inside the wreckage of who I am. And I wonder if this is what love looks like. When you break it open and see what's really underneath. The door opens again. Dante. He walks in slowly. Still dressed like the king of his world. But his eyes look dead. He stands in front of me. Doesn't speak. Doesn't raise his hand. Just says, "You're not dying here," and leaves again, which is worse, because now I know he still cares. And he'll punish me in the only way that truly hurts, by keeping me alive. Chapter 10. The Cage. The cage isn't literal. It's worse than that. It's a high-ceilinged, lockable guest suite. Lavish. Clean. Heavy door with a code lock. No windows. Just a single camera in the corner that blinks red once every 30 seconds. They didn't tie me up this time. Dante knew he didn't have to. I'm not going anywhere. They bring me food twice a day. Water. Nothing more. No news. No voices. Just me. My thoughts. My guilt. And that blinking light that reminds me he's watching. The 3rd day I stop eating. The 5th he visits. The door opens with a mechanical hiss. I'm curled on the bed. Too thin. Still sore from where the cuffs had cut my wrists in the basement. I sit up slowly, refusing to look broken. Dante walks in alone. His expression is unreadable. He doesn't speak. Doesn't ask questions. Doesn't move past the doorway. Just looks at me. Like I'm still bleeding. Like I'm something he buried but didn't quite kill. I break the silence first. Here to torture me with your eyes again? He speaks. You're starving yourself. I look away. That bothers you? Yes. Why? He steps inside now. Quietly. Because I can't hurt him anymore. But I could still leave. He sits in the chair across from me. Legs crossed. Eyes sharp. I match his stare, even though it's costing me. You've got everything, the truth. The betrayal. The leverage. Why not end it? I say. I did end it, you just haven't accepted it yet. He says, clench my jaw. Then why keep me alive? His silence is long. Too long. Then soft, almost broken. Because the world without you in it feels wrong. I exhale. Slow. Controlled. You don't forgive me. I say. No. You still want me dead. No. I shake my head. You want me to suffer. He finally looks away. I don't know what I want. The air between us thickens. Not with lust this time. Not with anger. With ache. He stands suddenly. Crosses the room. Stops at the edge of the bed. I stay still. Let him look. Let him hurt. Let him hate. Then he reaches into his coat and pulls something out. He tosses it on the bed. It lands beside me with a soft clink. My micro recorder. Smashed. Broken. Burned through with a cigarette or a soldering iron. Dead. I destroyed it just in case you were hoping to go back. He says. I wasn't. You were, but not anymore. He says. He walks away. Stops at the door. And without turning says, you'll eat today. Or tomorrow I'll come back with a doctor. And I'll tie you to a chair until you're better. I want to scream at him. Tell him to get out. Tell him to stay. But all I say is, I hate you. He nods once. And leaves. That night I eat. Just enough to stop shaking. Because I know he'll come back. And I want to be strong when he does. Not to fight him. Not to run. But to ask the question I never thought I'd want the answer to. What's left of us? Chapter 11. Ashes and Silk. There's no lock on the inside of the door. There never was. Because this cage was never built to be physical. It was psychological. It was him. He comes every night now. Not to interrogate. Not to punish. Just to exist in the same space as me. At first, I thought he wanted something. A confession. A breakdown. A reason. But he never asks questions. He just walks in, sets something on the table. A plate, a book, a record, and sits in the chair like we're lovers in an argument that no longer matters. The first night he read to me. Didn't ask. Just opened a battered old novel and started reading aloud like my silence demanded filling. His voice was too calm. Like he was trying to remember how to sound human. He stopped after 15 pages. Left without looking at me. On the third night, I said, I don't need babysitting. He didn't flinch. Just replied, neither do I, and kept reading. Tonight he brings tea. Puts the cup on the nightstand like we're old roommates sharing a truce. I watch him move measured, slow, careful. The kind of careful that says I've broken too many things lately. He sits in the chair. Says nothing for 5 full minutes. I finally speak. You used to be louder. He doesn't smile, but I see the ghost of one flicker through him. You used to lie better, he replies. Touché. I sip the tea. It's warm. After a while, he shifts in the chair. Not closer, just realigns his body toward mine. It's deliberate. He's opening himself without asking permission. That's new. He clears his throat. Then, quietly, I've been thinking about that first night. The wedding. I blink. He never talks about that night. Yeah. I thought you looked like something stolen. Not gifted. I stare at him. I was. He nods. I know that now. Another silence. He doesn't fill it. Neither do I. Eventually, I say, you hate me? He looks me dead in the eye. No. I believe him. It's terrifying. He leans forward, forearms on knees, fingers threading together. You made me feel something again. That's not easy to forgive, he says. My throat tightens. I want to look away. Instead, I ask, do you want me to say sorry? He thinks about it. Then, no. I want you to feel it. I do. He looks at me then, not with heat, not with rage, just a quiet ache that lives between regret and want. I know, he says. Before he leaves, he hesitates by the door. You still want to leave? He asks. I don't answer right away. Then, I don't know what I want anymore. He nods. That's enough for tonight. He leaves the door unlocked. Just clicks the deadbolt open and walks out. No guards. No chains. Just a hallway. And the choice. I don't move. I lie in bed and sip the rest of the tea, thinking about the way his voice softened when he read to me, the way his hand trembled when he poured the water, the way he never once touched me this time, and how that hurt more than anything else. Chapter 12. The Escape Plan. The first step out of the room feels like stepping onto another planet. The hallway's the same. Marble floors, clean lines, silent cameras. But I'm different. Something's been flayed off me. Not weakness, not guilt. And without it, every step feels like walking on glass I used to be sure of. No guards follow me. No alarms trip. The house breathes around me like a beast that knows I'm still inside its belly and doesn't mind. I don't go far. Just to the east wing. The one with the old rooms, the locked doors, the ones even Dante doesn't visit. At least I thought he didn't. I find one cracked open. Inside, dust, old wood, crates of files that look like they were forgotten years ago. Except they weren't. There's a fresh coffee cup on the table, still warm, and a laptop still on. Open to a spreadsheet labeled Transit, Minors. I scroll. It's not weapons, not drugs. It's names, ages, locations, kids, all marked, intercepted, transferred, safe. My stomach drops. I open the last folder. Photos, shelter intake forms, medical checks, Dante's name in the routing logs. Not under Black Fang. Under a shell org I never traced. He's been pulling children out of trafficking routes. Quietly, systematically. No money taken. No credit given. No orders filed. Just names crossed off a list of people who were supposed to vanish. I sit back, hand to my mouth, breathing hard. I've been trained to profile, to find the cracks in monsters, the logic behind evil. But this isn't that. This is a man who kills without flinching, but saves without telling anyone. Who made me bleed, and stitched me up. I shut the laptop, and almost drop it when I hear his voice behind me. You weren't supposed to see that. I turn. Dante leans against the doorframe, arms crossed, no anger in his face. Just that bone-deep exhaustion I've only seen in people who've carried too much for too long. You don't keep records of your hits, but you keep this, I say. He walks in, doesn't get too close. I use the Black Fang's routes to divert the kids. No one notices when a crate goes missing if it was never supposed to exist in the first place. He explains. I can barely breathe. Why? He tilts his head. You think I was born like this? I thought you stopped caring a long time ago. I did until I saw what kind of people I was letting into my house. He says. That stings. The possessive still slips out like instinct. He notices. Doesn't apologize. You could have told me, I say. You would have thought it was leverage. You're not wrong. He nods. Accepts that. Then, but you're still here. I meet his eyes. I'm not staying. I know. He takes a step back. Leaves the doorway open behind him. That laptop stays, he says. I figured. He starts to walk out. Then stops. Says, without turning. If you leave, make it clean. Don't let them catch you. I won't protect you again. Again. I wait until he's gone. Then I sit down. Not to plan a new exit, but to reread every name on the list. Because suddenly, walking away doesn't feel like justice. Feels like betrayal. And I don't know what scares me more. That I still want to bring him down. Or that I might not want to anymore. Chapter 13. The Collapse. It's raining when I leave. No dramatic confrontation. No guards. No chase. Just me, a burner phone, and a route I memorized months ago, back when this was still simple. Back when I believed in lines, clear ones, black and white. Now all I see is gray. And blood. I meet Handler Rains in a garage 3 miles outside the city. Same place we staged the drop before the wedding. Everything feels smaller now. He doesn't hug me. Doesn't even nod. Just lights a cigarette and hands me a dry shirt. You're late, he says. I lived. You look like hell. I got married, I say. He snorts. Fair. Inside the van, I hand over the drive everything I collected. Transaction logs. Names. Codes. Times. Locations. Everything except the names Dante kept in that file. The ones that should have been worth the most. Rains plugs it in. Begins reviewing. You get close? He asks, not looking at me. I don't answer. You slept with him, didn't you? Still no answer. Don't beat yourself up, Heart. This happened before. The ones like him, they don't just break bones. They break walls. I didn't fall for him. Didn't say you did. He scrolls. Pauses. Jesus. This is enough to bring the whole thing down. I know. But not him. His name barely appears. No direct orders. No payments. Nothing actionable. Rains says. I look away. He leans forward. You holding back? I meet his eyes. He doesn't blink. I lie. Of course not. We drive back to HQ. I sit in the back, wet and silent, staring at my own reflection in the rearview mirror like it might confess for me. Inside, the ops room is colder than I remember. Sterile. Buzzing with screens and wires and agents who don't look me in the eye. Captain Rowe appears 20 minutes later. Good work, Hart, you'll be commended. She says, nodding toward the evidence. I don't feel proud. I feel filthy. Request to assist in the arrest. Let me go back in. Be the contact point. I say. She shakes her head. You're too close. That's why I'm perfect. It's a no. She turns to leave. Then she adds like it's an afterthought. We'll be cleaning house soon. Quietly, but quickly. Does that include the trafficking ring? She stops. Turns. What trafficking ring? I hesitate. Then, the side network. The children. She frowns. There's nothing in your report. It's off book. I saw it. From him. Yes. Then it's not real. I stand. It is real. You didn't include it in your report. I didn't think you'd care. She stares at me. Not like I'm a hero. Like I'm a problem. And I realize this is the collapse. Not Dante. Not Black Fang. This machine I sold my soul to. Clean on the outside. Rotting underneath. Dante's been diverting kids out of the routes. Sheltering them. She doesn't blink. And he's also executed 16 federal targets, Hart. I know that. Then we're done here. She leaves. And I finally get it. Later, I find Rains alone in the garage again. I lean against the wall and say, I want out. He doesn't look surprised. Where will you go? I shrug. Back. To him. Silence. Then, he gave me a choice. I'm taking it. You think he'll let you in? No. I think he'll make me crawl. And you're okay with that? I exhale. I'd rather crawl to someone who stitched me up than salute someone who sold me out. That night, I crossed the city under a hood and a borrowed name. And for the first time since the wedding, I'm not undercover. I'm just a man who burned both sides of the bridge and walked into the smoke anyway. Chapter 14, Redemption Hurts. The gate's still the same. Black iron. Dead quiet. Always watching. I press the buzzer and wait. 30 seconds. Then a voice crackles through the speaker. Name. You know who it is. The gate opens. I walk through the courtyard alone. Same roses. Same storm-soaked gravel. But I'm not the same. This time I'm not wearing a wire. This time, the only thing I'm carrying is my own wreckage. Dante doesn't meet me at the door. A guard does. One I've never seen before. Young, stiff, terrified of me like I'm a ghost. He leads me down the same hallway I once snuck through to steal information. Now I'm here to give something away. I just don't know what it is yet. The study smells like smoke and winter. Dante's behind the desk, leaning back, arms crossed. His face is unreadable. I stand there, waiting for permission that never comes. Finally, I speak. I'm not here for forgiveness. Good, you're not getting it. He says. That should hurt more than it does. I nod. I figured. He doesn't move. Doesn't blink. Just looks at me like he's trying to count how many pieces I broke him into. You burned me, he says. I know. You lied to me. I know. You chose them. I didn't. That stops him. I chose the job because I thought it was clean. That justice was something you handed out. I didn't realize it was something you had to build from scratch. I say. He stands now, walks around the desk slowly, not like a predator, like a man circling the wreck of something he once loved. You came back, why? He says. Because I didn't want you to be the only one who lost something. He steps close. Too close. I let him. His voice drops. You think walking through the door fixes this? No. You think giving me regret makes up for recording my voice and reporting my every move? No. Then what do you think, Elliot? I finally meet his eyes and say the truth. That if I'm going to bleed for someone, I want it to be you. He doesn't kiss me. He punches me. Right in the gut. Hard. I double over, gasping, but I don't fight back. I don't even flinch. Because I deserve it. He grabs me by the shirt and slams me against the wall. You don't get to crawl back and act like I'm your home, he growls. I'm not crawling. I'm standing here. Hurt. Empty. Yours if you still want me. I say. He lets go. Steps back like I burned him. Why now? Because I know what you are, and I know what you're not. You're a killer. You're broken. You scare the hell out of me. I whisper. I pause. But you kept me alive when you didn't have to. You saved kids you never met. You held me when I couldn't even hold myself together. And I've never felt safer than I did in your arms. That's why. He breathes hard. Like every word hit him like a blow. Then finally his voice cracks. I hate that I still want you. I hate that I ever thought I didn't. He drags a hand down his face. Paces. Stops. Paces again. Then walks to the fireplace. Grabs a bottle. Pours 2 glasses. He sets one in front of me. I don't touch it. He waits. I wait longer. And then he says, like a vow that costs him something, "You want back in? Prove it." I nod. How? He stares at me, then tosses a lighter onto the desk. You built a case against me. Burn it. I pick it up. And without hesitation, I open the bag I brought with me. Pull out every file I stole. Every copy. Every note. I throw them into the fire. Watch the pages curl, blacken, vanish. He watches me. Every second of it. When it's done, I turn. He's there. Close. Not touching me. Just waiting. I'll never be soft, he says. Good. I'm not coming back for comfort. I'm coming back for truth. I whisper. He steps forward. Grabs me by the collar. This time he kisses me. Hard. Like war. Like home. Chapter 15. Honeymoon in Ash. We burned the house. We literally torched the mansion the Black Fang built on secrets and blood. Dante didn't flinch. He stood in the gravel driveway beside me, a lit match dangling between 2 fingers, watching everything he'd inherited go up in flame like he was watching his own funeral. I asked him once, "Do you regret it?" He didn't look away from the blaze. Only that I waited this long. We disappeared after that. Fake deaths. Changed names. Bribed the right people, buried the rest. It wasn't clean, but it was ours. Now we live in a house with peeling paint and sand in the floorboards, overlooking a beach that doesn't know our names. It's not quiet, but it's not chaos either. It's life. The first few days I didn't touch him. We slept on opposite sides of the bed. He cooked. I fixed the wiring. We didn't say much, just let time bleed. Then one night, I found him sitting on the back steps in the dark, shirtless, arms around his knees. He didn't hear me at first. When I sat beside him, he didn't speak. Eventually, I did. You still waiting for me to leave? His answer was soft. Wrecked. Every day. I leaned my head on his shoulder. Not gonna happen. He let out a breath like he'd been holding it for years. Now we're still learning. He wakes from nightmares sometimes. Violent, breathless, fists clenched. I don't say anything. I just pull him back down, anchor him to me until he stops shaking. Sometimes it's me, waking with a start, heart hammering like I'm still undercover, still hunted, still chained. He doesn't speak either, just reaches across the bed and grips my wrist, firm and steady. You're here. You're safe. I've got you. It's enough. Today we walk the shoreline in silence. The sea is rough. The air smells like salt and old gods. Dante's wearing a hoodie that doesn't fit. I glance at him and ask, "You ever think we're still pretending?" He doesn't look at me. "Sometimes," he says. "You still angry? At the world? Always. At you?" "Not today." I laugh under my breath. "Progress." He stops walking. I stop too. Then he turns to me. "I love you. I always did. From the moment I saw you. Or you won't survive till today with the things you did." He says, "Not dramatic. Not armed. Just true." And maybe that's the most terrifying part. I step forward. Let our foreheads touch. Let my voice tremble when I say it back. "I love you too. And I'm sorry for all the things I did." We kiss. Not like the first time. Not like the last time. Like we mean it. Like we can finally mean it. That night I write something down. Not a report. Not a lie. Just one truth. Scratched into the back of a torn postcard and shoved into the drawer of the nightstand. We're not good people. But maybe we're good for each other. And for once, that's enough.